10. The most heretical last boss queen, or last Tame for short, doesn't necessarily do anything special. In fact, most of the openings don't really do something new to the basic anime opening formula, but Last Tame starts off strong with the song, and I really like that. It also gives a mini summary with the character introductions and how pride scares them in the game, but it also loses points for the scenes shown in the chorus. It's just scenes of pride dancing alone, then falling in a spin with the moon in the backdrop. The chorus is usually the best time to get you excited for what you're about to watch, but those just don't do it for me. Nevertheless, it's still a good OP, and it sits at number 10, though Dark Gathering was about to take it from it. 9. Apparently, Samurai Champloo set the standard for samurai era anime to have hip-hop inspired openings, although the ones I remember off the top of my head are just Samurai Champloo and Hell's Paradise, but now, the reboot of Rurouni Kenshin joins them. I don't really have much to say about the opening, except that what sold me on it is the part before the chorus, when the bars drop, with Kenshin bursting out in badass fights, which highlights his assassin days. Then, the chorus highlights his more mellow nature nowadays, especially when he's with his friends, and the change from hip-hop to a more J-pop song accentuates that. Still though, it doesn't beat Samurai Champloo's opening. 8. Okay, don't judge me, but I haven't watched the new season of Horimiya yet. Its synopsis just didn't interest me at all, even though I really enjoyed its first season, but its opening really compels me to watch it. I'm a sucker when the staff get creative with the credits and make it seem as a part of the imagery, not just text put on top. And it's not just that. I actually really like the song, and this might be a hot take, but it reminded me of Tokyo Raven's first OP, one of my favorite anime openings of all time. It really excels at the job that openings are supposed to do, get you ready for the anime. I'm going to watch Horimiya now, just for the opening. 7. Speaking of openings that remind me of something else, is it just me, or does The Devil is a Part-Timer's new opening remind you of Naruto openings, whether it's with Emilia running in the rain or the dramatic way that the OP starts with? But every time I see it, I remember Naruto instantly. But I don't mean it as a complaint. If something reminds me of one of the legends of anime, then that's one of the best compliments I could give to it, and it helps having NaNoWriMe singing the opening. I've been a fan since her opening in Non Non Biyori. Long story short, The Devil is a Part-Timer is at 7 because it reminds me of Naruto. 6. Atelier Ryza's opening caught my eye from the very beginning for obvious reasons. Yes, I'm a pig. Get over it. All jokes aside, the real reason Ryza's here is that the OP captures my perceived vibe of the show perfectly. A sense of a fun adventure with friends. Atelier Ryza is another one that I haven't watched yet, but unlike Horimiya, I haven't watched it because I really want to play the game, and I don't want to take the risk of having anything spoiled for me. But the OP comes damn close in getting me to watch it regardless. 5. Who knew a vending machine could have this much pull? Now, I know that other openings might be more deserving of this position, but let me tell you this. Reborn as a vending machine has Bradio singing a fun bop. Do the others have Bradio singing a fun bop? I rest my case. It's one of the most fun openings to one of the most entertaining anime this season, and I recommend it highly if you're in the mood for a fun anime with a silly premise, and an opening that's just as fun. Now, I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for this, but 4. Yes, Jujutsu Kaisen is only at 4. It's still one of the best openings this season, and it does an astounding job in getting me hyped for JJK, which is the main thing I'm judging these openings on. But to be fair, JJK doesn't really need a kick-ass OP to get me hyped for it. But nevertheless, it's still one hell of an opening with a kick-ass banger, especially when it gets to the chorus. So far, the chorus is one of the best moments of the season, with them falling from the building, showing off their powers, and especially with Gojo sitting on a dragon, which is just the tip of the iceberg of the balance the opening strikes between being funny and serious. Yes, it's one of the best openings this season, but I still have 3 more that I think are even better. 3. Now, is my Happy Marriage's opening better than Jujutsu Kaisen's? Probably not. Am I just biased towards my Happy Marriage? You bet your ass I am. I really can't emphasize how much I love this anime, and it's got one of the prettiest OPs this season. In terms of what's actually happening on the screen, it might not be as packed as other openings, but the use of colors and effects are what really sells it for me. And having a song that fits it as perfectly as, I'm going to butcher the pronunciation, but Anata no Soba ni by Riria helps it stand out against the competition. The only criticism I can think of is that the scenes are somewhat basic, but they're still beautiful regardless. This goes to show you the power of being biased. 2. If there's one thing that Bleach is the best at over any other anime, then that's its style, and the new opening really flaunts it. If it was based on style alone, then it would have been the best opening of the summer by a country mile, and the song Stars by WOD is a bop. I really like its garage rock vibe, and if I were someone who didn't know what Bleach is, I'd get up right away to watch it after watching a bunch of stylish people going about their daily lives. I know I kept saying style a lot here, but that's what it is. Stylish. Now, I just have to get caught up to Bleach. Okay, so before we get to number 1, I've got to admit that I made a massive oversight. After recording this video, I realized that I missed one opening, and it's one that really shouldn't be missed. Link Click's opening is a masterpiece. I haven't watched Link Click, and I was planning to, at some point, and even though the opening of the first season was pretty great, this one is on a whole nother level. Now, I will admit that I don't know much of what's going on visually, but it's still a sight to behold, and to be able to make a song that's the same backwards as it is forward, and I made sure that it did, shows how much thought and effort went into it. It's really the perfect opening for a time travel anime. If I was a fan of Link Click, it probably would have been at number 1, but for now, my bias will only allow me to put it at 2, which is still pretty good. This turned out to be a top 11 list, not 10. So, instead of editing it, just bump all the others before it by a single spot. Number 1. Was there really any doubt? Zom 100's no doubt one of the best anime this season, and it's got the best summer opening. Oh man, where do I start? From the opening shot of Akira riding in on his motorcycle to throw the title at the zombies chasing him until one falls on his face and farts in the face of a fat one that I always assumed was his boss, to the main cast singing the opening lines of the banger that is Song of the Dead by Kanabun, followed by the zombies walking by a yellow background where blood splatters in tune with the song, which then cuts off to Otori, and all of that is just in the first 40 seconds or so, and just from that, I knew from the first watch that this is my favorite. The remainder of the opening acts as a recap to the previous episode, which not many anime do nowadays, and if Zom 100 was a boring anime, then it would have seriously hurt it. But as we all know by now, it's not a boring anime. In fact, it's one of the best, and according to me, which makes it fact, it's got the best opening of the summer.